So when I first chopped all of my hair off, I scoured the internet, all of YouTube, for a tutorial on how to style it the way I wanted it, and couldn't find one that helped me at all. So like Sebastian says, if you want something done, you have to do it yourself. So in this video, I will be showing you how I style my little short bob here to get this curly, messy, very fun, very voluminous, playful texture that I love so much. It's really not a lot of work. I'm no hair expert. I don't really super know what I'm doing, but my hair has always been super healthy, and I think I'm pretty good at taking care of it. So the most important step to me is that I shower at night. I absolutely hate blow drying my hair, so I shower at night and then let it air dry overnight as I sleep. And then first thing in the morning, what I do is I absolutely soak my hair in this Chi 44 Iron Guard heat protectant. This is the heat protectant that I've used like my whole life because it's only like 20-ish bucks and you can get it at Shoppers Drug Mart. And I don't know, like I just find that it works really well. I really like it. It doesn't really smell. It's not greasy. I love it. So I totally just like absolutely coat my hair in it, and then I just brush it all the way through, make sure that every hair is completely saturated in this heat protectant, because the last thing that we want to be doing is heat damaging our hair. And then after that, basically what I do is I take these hair claws. Mine are really old and beat up because they're the only ones I have, but they work, and I only section up the crown of my hair. When my hair was longer, I used to do my hair in like a bottom, middle, top layer system, but I can't do that anymore because it's just too short. So only take the crown of my hair and clip it up. Now the curling wand that I use that you're going to see in a minute here has been in my house for years at this point, probably almost 10 years. So I don't even know if Conair makes it anymore, but I'm sure that there are a lot of great curling wands available on the market. The most important thing to note about this curling wand specifically is that, like most wands, it is tapered at the barrel and there's no clip. That's what matters to me the most with this curling wand. So as long as you can find a curling wand with that, you're probably good to go. I would recommend using a curling wand with a heat protectant glove just to, save your hands. I have one, but I can't really super use it because with my hair being so short, I really feel like I need the texture of my hair in my hands to know what I'm doing. I've tried to use that, and I just can't do it. So when I got my hair cut, she cut it in this like really, really piecey texture. So basically, honestly, what I do is I feel for a piece and I brush it through, and then I wrap it around the wand. Now, sometimes these sections feel like they're too short for the wand, and that's the nice thing about the taper is that longer sections I can do up at the top by the thicker part of the barrel, shorter sections I can do down at the bottom where it's a little bit skinnier. So I get it wrapped around, I hold it on for about 10 seconds, the curling wand is at 400 degrees, BT dubs, and yeah, about 10 seconds, and then that's it. I don't separate it or anything immediately because my hair is very hard to curl, so I leave it in that sort of Shirley Temple ringlet for as long as possible. So here I'm just grabbing another section, brushing through it, and then we're going to wrap it around. Now my sort of curl method, if you want to go with that, is I try to alternate directions. So one away from my face, one towards my face. And I just find that not doing it all the same way really helps create that sort of messy bedhead texture that I really want. And it just sits a little bit nicer. It's a little more voluminous rather than having one sort of curl pattern all the way around my head, Not really my favorite. So you see here, I'm just doing the second piece, and then after this, we're going to speed it up so that you can kind of see me go through the rest of this half of my head here a little bit faster. Now, for the most part, I don't do my very, very bottom layers at all. Shout out to my mom here for bringing me a coffee, by the way. 10 out of 10, Mom, thanks. I don't really do my under layers, the ones closest to my neck, because they're so short, and my neck is already so short that if I try to do them, I would burn the crap out of myself. Now, because I'm going for like a messy texture anyway, and I like really fluff up my hair after, you really can't tell that those very, very bottom pieces are straight anyway, so really just don't worry about it. With a messy texture, if you miss a spot here or there, it's really not a huge deal. For the most part, what matters, the most is that I get these pieces that you can really see that are naturally so straight, and I hold them on for that 10 seconds, sometimes maybe even a little bit longer, just to make sure that my hair is holding the curl. Now, the piece that goes above my ear here, for some reason, has just always been a thing with me. I always curl that in, like, towards my face, because I like it to cover my ear. I don't know why, that's just a thing with me. I have weird things, and that's just how I am. And yeah, that's just the thing. Everyone has their own personal style when it comes to how they do their hair, and I personally like to keep my ears covered. And then you'll notice when I get to the piece right by my face, the sort of sideburn piece, if you will, I spray it with a little bit of hairspray. Doesn't really matter what hairspray. I think that one came in my Ipsy bag or something at some point, because that piece of hair specifically is impossible to curl. I have tried every curling iron, wand, whatever on the planet, and it just doesn't curl. So, I mean, you with your hair, learn what you have to do to make it sort of work. And that's what I have to do. You'll figure out what you have to do. Not everyone's hair is as thick or as straight as mine. You know, to each their own. See, and now you're done with that whole half of my head, and that's what it looks like from the back. Sorry, everything is kind of hard to see. This is what happens when you have black hair and a black chair, and also wearing a black shirt. But overall, I think you can see that there's like a nice curl going on there, and we're just going to leave that for now because, like I said, if I brush through it, I'm going to lose all that curl because my hair is so straight. Now we're going to super speed through the other half of my hair. Now, because of the way, you know, my body is curved, because my body is very curved, I'm just kind of, when it comes to this very back section here, I'm really just kind of feeling and curling. I'm not really super paying attention to which direction is which, but I am trying to make it go, you know, one way and then the other way. But you kind of got to do the best with what you have sometimes. But so far, I think I've had pretty good hair curled days. And I have to spray the front piece on that side too because it doesn't like to curl just like the other side. Hair is so weird, right? It can be straight in one spot and curly in the next, and you just gotta learn your own head of hair as best as you can, I guess. And then as you finish, you just feel around to see if you've missed any big important spots, and then recurl them, and then this is what that half of my hair looked like done. Now I left my hair just to sit while I finish the rest of my makeup because it's easier to do your makeup with no hair in your face, right? And now I'm just unclipping this very top section here, giving it a good brush through, and then you're going to see how I curl the crown of my head because it is different. Because rather than parting it and curling it the way I've seen other people do it, I like to curl it rather like it's its own like top entity because I really like a lot of volume up throughout the top of my hair because when I had really long straight hair, it was always very flat on the top. So this is the best I could do. So basically what I do is I like to section it into as many pieces as possible so I get a lot of curl. So we're going to take this back piece first. We're going to give it a brush through, and then what we're going to do is we're going to stick the curling wand behind it, and we're going to curl it under. Now, on the top of my head, because I do want that messy texture still, I do like to alternate between curling it under and curling it over, but I always make sure that the very back piece is under, and all of the front pieces that are like right against my face are curled back so that they're going away from my face so I don't get that weird kink. I know that some people might not love that, but personally I prefer to just keep that back piece going back and the front pieces going back as well. And you'll just see here as I curl, I definitely have like a method. Like as I'm curling the pieces on the left side, I like to curl it with the one going left, and then on the right side I curl it with the one going right because I know that eventually that will probably be how it sits. But my favorite part about this short hair that's curly like this is that really it's very play withable. So at the end I can kind of flip it whichever way I want, and it can blow in the wind and it'll just land however it wants to. So really you don't need a really big rhyme or reason to how you curl the top sections. Just make sure you're getting as much volume as possible. If little bits like that are like flying out, you see how there's that piece sticking up there, don't worry about it. That just adds to like the messy texture. I personally do curl as much of the hair around it as I can. I know some people on YouTube like to leave the ends out. I don't like to do that because my hair is already so straight as it is that, you know, I gotta get as much bang for my buck as I can. But if little pieces fly out, your layers or whatever, I wouldn't really worry about it too much because, again, you're going for that messier look. So it doesn't really super matter. Now I just realized when I was doing this that I had missed this piece here that really should go not as part of my bang, so I'm just curling that forward there so that I can curl the piece in front of it back. You'll see in a second. So like, look at this, we're almost done curling my hair. Woohoo! In total, I would say, even though I have like really thick hair and I have a lot of hair, now that it's short, curling it really only takes me about like 20 minutes at the most. So I mean, definitely longer than just leaving it straight, but I like the look of it better in the end, so it's worth it. So after I am done completely curling all of my hair, I like to give it a nice coat of hairspray. I am so sorry if you are really against using aerosol hairsprays. I have had this can for like ever at this point though, so I mean, when it dies, maybe I'll try a new brand or whatever. Now my next step is my secret weapon here. I take the Bumble and Bumble Preta powder after my hairspray is dried and my hair is cooled off and everything. Of course, that is like the most important step. But then I take a little bit of this Bumble and Bumble Preta powder and I just kind of stick my fingers in it, and then I stick my hands underneath my hair up through the back, that sort of thing, and really like try to mess up the roots. Really try to add some volume up through the top, up through the back, just to really help give my hair some texture, some grit, some oomph, if you will, so that it's not going to fall as flat, as fast as it often likes to. You can see I'm just scrunching up here, and then once I am done with, you know, messing up my hair like this, then I take my big wide tooth comb and I brush through it just to separate the curls and get that sort of messier texture that I want, because I like to have hair that I can run my fingers through, but it still looks curly and fun and bouncy, and I don't know, it looks sassy and I like it. So see, I brush from the top down, I brush under up. I just really try to brush through all the curls and keep the volume at the same time as best as I possibly can. So this is basically the end result right after I've finished doing it. It's got a lot of volume, a lot of curl, and for anyone who might be thinking, how does this look at the end of the day though? This shot I took after 9 hours, so it definitely has lost some of the volume through the top, but like really not most of it. And my hair is really naturally flat, really naturally straight, and doesn't hold any volume, so this is like amazing for me. So I really hope that you like this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and you subscribe if you have not already. I really hope you learned something today, and I will see you next time. Bye!